It's the main stage of IEM Cologne. G2, the latest super team of the summer player shuffle, has just lost to Saw, who are breaking the barriers in CS2 for Portuguese counterstrike.
Counterstrike worthy of IEM Cologne. The return.
In another opening round, Team Spirit are the biggest breakout team of 2024, hoisting 2 S-tier trophies and wielding what many consider to be the best player in the world, Donk. But since the player break, Spirit have not been themselves.
They have been struggling. We saw them at the Esports World Cup struggle a little bit. We saw them in Copenhagen at Blast struggle a little bit, and they haven't looked like the best version of themselves so far this year.
They've just lost 2-0 to the youngest team in the tournament, the Mongols.
Spirit versus G2 elimination tomorrow night. This is a Cologne that features more Davids than Goliaths.
The number 2 and number 4 teams in the world are in an elimination match. Little did anyone know, it would turn into the biggest blowout in a major CS2 event to this date. To put in perspective, there hadn't been a stomping this hard between 2 top 5 teams since 2020. So let's dive into G2 versus Team Spirit, the elimination match of IEM Cologne. Pistol round and conversion aside, round 3 leads off with an outside lean. 2 players are prepared to play off of Nico or to fast rotate inside. It's a very cute counter to early outside control, but obviously weak to a ramp take or a strong inner hit. And Spirit, well, they take the bait. They get rocked, and G2 convert the 2 versus 5. Sometimes you can take in the book, take a risk, make a read, and have it work. And after some mistakes from Spirit, they barely convert the next round. However, for the second round in a row, in round 5, Zontix makes a second blunder out of Squeaky. And then G2 recognized Team Spirit's next play, a mid-round outside walk. And, well, here is a family photo.
Distraction. Lots of vision. Good work from Chopper. Hunter good on the trade. He actually doubles up. That's a triple from Hunter. It's up to Donk now. Snacks knows it. He's managed it so well. Just silently creeping and crawling, closing that gap from the smoke on Squeak.
G2 have actually had some decent mid-rounding and are staying ahead of the plays here for Team Spirit. For an IGL like Snacks, who has gone underneath the microscope with Hooksy departing the team during the player shuffle, the team has gone from running a system to, well, more of this. In round 7, G2 call a lobby crunch. Typically, you want to call this when you anticipate Spirit are split up between outside and lobby, so that you can root out that lobby lurk and take these established positions. But it's a 5 versus 5 instead. But there's one thing about this new look G2 that is just so much different than the previous iteration. Over the break, G2 held 2 top 5 players on their roster, Nico and Monacy. And while Hunter can have a good year here and there too, G2 then went ahead and added likely the biggest aim star on the market, the Doctor, Malbs MD, while booting Nexa and Hooksy. Folks, this is what firepower looks like.
Once more, Donk is part of this pack, so he won't be tussling. Another aggressive ramp maneuver. This is fast.
This is so fast, and Spirit are completely unprepared. Donk gets a jump scare. Monacy gets his first frag, and Snacks is going to double up as well. From MP9 to AK, and he's even got his eyes on Shiro. This is not a favorable fight whatsoever. Malbs has taken his head off, and just like that...
G2 continue to batter Spirit. It comes to a point where they're just ravenous for gunfights at every turn. Donk cannot get going across the map and get into any playable positions. And the biggest issue is that for the 3rd time this game, Death, Taxes, and Zontix is dead in Squeaky. Team Spirit cannot hold on to any map control in the face of firepower. The pivot into gunfight-oriented, nearly just pickup game Counter-Strike from G2 is immediately dialed back at the perfect round. Team Spirit have been getting rocked outside, so on round 11, they send 5 players to silently walk, hoping that G2 break the smoke with an HE grenade to fight. Instead, G2 change it up. They're all playing passive. They have perfectly shadowed Team Spirit. With no fights being taken, the smokes fade, and it is open season.
To a second wall. This is problematic for Spirit. They're going to be in the open.
Oh, they are exposed. Hunter catches magics.
Another one.
Another opening kill, and Nico just builds upon it. Where did they come from? From the warehouse. He swings out upon the fading smokes, and they're just in the open, like sitting ducks. m0NESY plugs.
In round 12, G2 returned to battling and breaking smokes outside. Just fortunately, m0NESY finally misses. So the scoreline is 9-3. You've been just getting hammered in the individual fights. Maybe we could just get a pistol to get started on the second half.
It's 13-3, ladies and gentlemen. G2 speedrun map 1.
That's a statement.
And we're done. Team Spirit's map pick of Nuke was turned into aim deathmatch, and the scoreline reads 13-3. Oh, and next map, we're putting Nico, m0NESY, and MalbsMD on Mirage. Have fun. The conversation between maps for a team that lost has to be to maintain confidence and to keep hitting shots to keep your head in the game. So Spirit try to continue playing confident CS, but what they underestimate is pure firepower. On Mirage, G2 hop, skip, and jump to a 3-0 lead. In the midsection of round 4, expecting G2 to begin grouping up for an execute, Spirit looked to dive in for some mid-info. But Zontix jumps the gun, walking into a sharp Malbs headshot. And in a sunk cost fallacy here, with every defender already trying to collapse in middle, everyone has to kind of just say go. And the last thing Spirit are prepared for is, well, the whole team in middle.
Written all over
Oh,
it.
they pushed the smoke. m0NESY was holding, but Nico and m0NESY partner up. Nice work from Magix, but m0NESY immediately.
They get shredded. Critically, Shiro's op was sent to control the B site by himself so that they could commit to this play. In the next round, Spirit actually execute the more forward strategy approach, with a little bit of X Factor working through here for Zontix.
Removes the head of Hunter. Nico down as well. Zontix and Donk starting to contribute. m0NESY does well for one, but it's Zontix.
This will be Team Spirit's only round they win on Mirage. G2 feigned their relentless mid-control again, and just turn it into a B-pop instead. The mid-presence lures away the catwalk player, and hearing heavy mid-control early, G2 just pull the trigger on the B play. And critically, Magic has no Molotov to stop them as he was using it to help out in that mid-control. Just look at this perspective.
Magic so blind, exposed in the flame, spotted. Hunter.
It's a free B site with a double entry, and Team Spirit have to save. The score is now 5-1. The next round, G2 basically do the same thing, this time with the A site. Team Spirit are actually begging G2 to come middle, but they won't take the bait. Surprise, it's another side anchor without a molly. But Chopper actually does God's work. He survives the full execute, and Spirit bring it into a 2 versus 1. Unfortunately, the one...
m0NESY.
Well, if he had the bomb, he could just get away.
Easy read. Easy frag. He knows where Chopper was. Guys, the clear. Beautiful from m0NESY. That is just textbook.
Firepower prevails again. At a certain point, it just gets ridiculous. I won't say that G2's calling is brilliant, but just every single duel, it feels like G2 just have an 80% chance to win. In round 8, it's one of the most ridiculous calls I've ever seen in Counter-Strike. It's the Krug and Gruul caveman swing top middle. 5 players, 0 utility, hit every shot. And of course, Shiro is late to the scene and can't capitalize. And it's so ridiculous because Shiro took the basic pathing to connector and his whole team was dead before he could even peek. G2 walk over Spirit. Like, what team in Tier 1 Counter-Strike can even fathom this round? Please do not try this in my matchmaking games. I swear. At this point, you're Team Spirit. You're number 2 in the world. No amount of nice tries can heal the pain of losing to matchmaking strats. At a point, the wheels just come off. Shiro, notoriously an emotional player, just makes a round-losing mistake in the 9th round as the A-site linchpin.
Oh, Shiro caught out. Nice tracking from Nico.
But even with this, G2 don't jump the gun. The one thing is not just the firepower, but all of these players have immaculate game sense. They just meticulously, like they have all the time in the world, root out the side anchor of Chopper. They don't hurry into unknowns. G2 are converting their advantage. That's the biggest factor in turning a close game into a blowout. 0 chance for Chopper, 0 chance for Spirit. Round 11, Team Spirit have no utility, and Snacks and company know this. G2 just count the utility and wait it all out. At the 30-second mark, yes, Team Spirit are in decent positions, but there's not a single grenade on a Team Spirit defender. Once again, no Molotov for your side anchor, and G2 have a full execute plus post plant in their back pocket. It's a style that reminisces Zeus's Not as Sincere. Run down the clock so that it's all dry fights, while you hold the cards in terms of the players and the firepower. Zeus back in 2018 held the two pair of Prime Simple and Electronic. In 2024, Snax holds a straight of the quadruple threat. Nico, Monacy, Malbs, and Hunter. And look what money can buy.
Chopper, at least one man advantage. Shiro blinded. Monacy's been getting a lot of flash assists as well. Feels like I've seen his name in the feed in that manner.
In round 12, probably the worst call of the game so far, G2 execute a stacked up B site. But look what money can buy.
Not themselves to say the least. Malbs. Oh, gets the head. Shots! Make it shots! Find Shiro on the bench positions on 25 minutes. 25-minute, completely deconstructing Team Spirit. G2, 2 rounds away from sending Team Spirit home in last place.
The pistol round, Malbs Merchant. Force buy, it's Nico. It's done. Before you could say Donk is the youngest player to ever be washed, just kidding. The series is done. 13-3, 13-1, the number 2 team in the world versus the number 4. This game is a testament to rock solid mid-rounding and just what firepower can deliver to a team in CS2. A tweet from Bubsky talks about how firepower means more than ever before. And just when you think you've hit the peak of CS, it really is the aim duels that actually make the difference. And you might say, but this is just one game, and some players can have a good day. But how about a good tournament? G2 would annihilate everyone on their lower bracket run. A little surprise from Astralis on Mirage, but every map that they won, they kept their opponent below 5 rounds. They might be in disadvantages, the calls may be imperfect, but when you let 2 top 5 players in the world and a future top 10 in 2025, don't at me, run wild, you get stomps like this where you just diff the tournament favorite. Thanks for watching.
So quickly. Malbs was a no-brainer when they picked him up. Snax, a lot of questions, but they weren't looking for the best IGL. They're looking for the right one. And at the moment, Snax is helping them play at the top of their game. Monacy